Was American expansion abroad justified? Our supporting questions will be: what conditions influenced the United States expansion abroad? What arguments were made in favor of imperialism and the Spanish-American War? What arguments were made in opposition to imperialism and the Spanish-American War? What were the results of the U.S. involvement in the Spanish-American War? What conditions influenced the United States' expansion abroad? Some of the conditions that influenced the United States' expansion abroad is that the United States had a special mission to uplift backwards people. Imperial rule seemed inconsistent with America's Republican principles. Between 1870 and 1900, European powers seized 10 million square miles of territory in Africa and Asia. About 150 million were subjected to colonial rule. A growing number of policymakers, bankers, manufacturers, and trade unions grew, fearful that the country might be closed out in the struggle for global markets and raw material. What arguments were made in favor of imperialism and the Spanish-American War? I have a few evidences from my T chart. A few is from anti-imperialist, and one is from Spanish War. What I got from anti-imperialist, which is from source A, Assistant Secretary Roosevelt convinced the explosion of the warship was not an accident. And from source C, the opposition tells us that we ought not to govern a people without their consent. And for Spanish War, was from source B, I cannot believe that out of a population of 1,600,200,000 had died within these Spanish forts. What arguments were made in opposition to imperialism and the Spanish-American War? We have one evidence for the Spanish War, which is from source A. We demand the immediate cessation of the war against liberty begun by Spain and continued by U.S. What were the results of U.S. involvement in the Spanish-American War? What claim I put in this question is U.S. victory in the war produced a peace treaty that compelled the Spanish to relinquish claims on Cuba and to cede sovereignty over Guam, Puerto Rico, and the Philippines to the United States. The source A map shows the United States and its territorial possessions, especially the years when they were required. That's it for today's video. See ya!